gotta follow the program. Otherwise, you're just hurting, you're just cheating yourself, to be honest.
Yeah. You mentioned next level. I mean, if people want to take their physique to the next level, their career, their life, they have to just go all in. That's one thing. Our very first phone call with you just went all in. You said, yeah, let's do it. But people sitting on the fence don't get anywhere in life. That's another thing. You just got to do it.
I think a lot of people, someone once told me, like, people tend to say they always have bad luck, but it's always the same people have the same bad luck over and over again. It's because they're doing the same things and expecting a different result and then blaming it on bad luck. You can always change your luck. Like, listen, you can catch a bad break here and there, but the reality is if you put in the effort, eventually you'll get results.
It's persistence, really, isn't it?
It's like saying, oh, I eat lettuce all day and I gain weight. That's not true. Your diet's proved it. I have friends who went on those crazy crash diets and then they've gained the weight back and then some afterwards. I've been able to maintain this weight, no problem. It's easy for me now.
Did you cut out any food groups, Joe? Did you?
No, I eat bread every day. I eat cheese every day. I eat meats every day. I have chips 3 times a week, like healthy, healthy portions of chips at night. And not to say that it's good to do it because you're not going to have a 6-pack like Davey, but you are allowed to eat as long as it fits within your calories. And if you leave enough space for it, then it's fine. Not that to say that eating chips is going to get you to your goal faster. Obviously, during the time I was losing weight, probably didn't eat as much bad food, but I would say that it's okay to spoil yourself. You don't need to go on these ridiculous diets where you feel like you're eating just chicken and broccoli all day. You're not looking to become a bodybuilder. It's about just being fit and feeling healthy. And I think being able to eat sort of what you want within reason allows you to maintain and upkeep that lifestyle and that diet.
It's something that you can do for the rest of your life. It's sustainable.
100%.
Yeah, so that's
I could do. I'm going to do this for the rest of my life.
That's the problem with people. Quick fixes. They're restricting foods. This leads to binging, to eating disorders. So the best diet is one that includes your favorite foods and is sustainable and that you can stick to.
I'd say I have burgers, like we make homemade burgers, chicken, pasta. But again, it's about just being smart about how you eat your food too. So instead of eating like just regular pasta, for example, we eat quinoa pasta. It tastes exactly the same, but it's significantly healthier for you. If it's bread, for example, I'll eat, what's the bread we eat? Sourdough bread, because I believe it doesn't have yeast in it, and I don't feel bloated after eating it. Whereas if you eat like the challah, or if you eat like just regular rye bread or bagels, you're going to feel more bloated. So it's about like compromise.
You were very, very consistent with tracking your food.
I was very consistent. Yes, I was. During the program, I stopped tracking my food now because I got into a routine. So in my head, I know already what calories I'm consuming. Some people might need.
You don't have to weigh your food forever. People don't have to track their food forever.
No, because you start to get an idea as to like how big portions are, and you start getting an idea of like, okay, this is 6 ounces of ground beef, or this is 6 ounces of chicken breast, or this is an approximate amount of cheese based on. You literally weigh it once or twice, and as you start putting them in over and over and over again, you start to memorize because you get into a routine of eating similar food groups just because it's easier as well. I found that I started eating eggs, 4 to 5 times a week, 3 eggs with cheese omelets, cheddar cheese with eggs. That would be like my breakfast or my lunch with a piece of, sourdough bread. It'd hold me over. In the mornings, I had shakes. So I'd have chia seeds, hemp seeds, frozen berries, scoop of protein with stevia, so you don't get the sugar part of it. That was a 400-calorie shake, but it had nothing but good things in it, and it would literally hold me over until lunch. Then my lunch would be essentially also like 400 to 500 calories, which is, eggs or a sandwich or whatever. And then this way I'm allowed to have a bigger dinner because now I have about 1,000 calories left for snacks and for dinner time. And so I could still feel full at dinner and not go over my calories.
It's amazing. You have an understanding now of how your body works and your metabolism. And
Absolutely.
going forward, you know exactly how much to eat and what to eat.
Sure.
It's amazing.
Yeah, and there's certain days like, if I've had McDonald's on this diet, I've had chicken wings on the diet, I've got, as long as you're eating your calories, and again, the walking, I really want to emphasize to anyone who's watching this video, the steps. One thing I didn't do a lot of is the walking. I'd sit on my desk all day. Of course, COVID is different. So I can, either sit at my kitchen table or on my couch, which I'm doing right now. What I would do is every time a phone would ring, I'd get up and I'd walk around. So I'd get my steps and just walking around in the same place over and over again, just pacing around the house. And before I knew it, I'm at 10,000 steps. If you notice, you remember my tracking, it's very consistent. Lately, I've been doing even 12,
on weekends.
Weekends, I take my son for a walk. Yeah, so my wife said, go take the boy for a walk. I'd walk around the block. I'd come home, do a second walk in the afternoon. Next thing you know, I'm at 15, 16,000 steps for the day. And what's awesome is that's like 600-700 calories you're burning just walking throughout the day, which gives you more room towards your macros or expedites that weight loss, right? I never did really a lot of HIIT. I never went on a treadmill. I did the rower a little bit, but honestly, very little cardio, and I'm just losing the weight, no problem.
Yeah. See, the thing is, when people work out for 1 hour in the gym or at home, we as humans, we burn very little calories. It's only 5-10% of our total daily energy expenditure comes from actual exercise.
Right.
It's non-exercise activity thermogenesis, which is walking, moving throughout the day. That burns more calories. So that's what you were explaining there. It's amazing.
Yeah, that was I would say my big, because sitting on your desk all day, you're not burning it. You come home and you've done 1,500 steps, and then you're eating. That's like me walking 10,000 steps a day or more is an extra 700 calories. I'm basically deficient now towards losing my weight, and so you're doing that over a week. That's 3,500 or more plus calories. And I think it's 3,000 calories. You lose 1 pound of fat.
3,500. Yeah.
3,500. So there you go. So, 500-600 calories a day times 7 days. Yeah. You're hitting those. You're basically losing 1 pound of fat, maintaining your same 2,000 caloric diet plus some exercise. It works.
The whole reason why we must lift weights is because when we're leaning down, we need to have a shape, tone, sculpted physique, and by lifting weights is what you done raises our metabolisms.
Right. Which I've noticed. So building the muscle mass.
Yeah, you do your chest as well. I mean, it looks you gain lean muscle on your chest, your arms. It's amazing.
Yeah. No, absolutely. My wife actually made a comment. Like, oh, your arms got bigger. She's like, they look better. My before and after photos, I was shocked to see the transition happen so quickly. Because I wasn't working out 6 days a week. At first it was 2, then I started 3, and 3 I noticed huge max 3. I've never done more than 3.
Yeah, so there we go. People, you don't have to work out twice a day, every day.
No. I think you're actually doing yourself a disservice because it's not something that people can realistically in today's world maintain. Unless you're a bodybuilder planning to compete and it's your job.
Yeah, I mean,
you will not be able to sustain.
Huge time constraints. I mean, for a guy like you that works 70, 80 hours a week, I mean, it's amazing that we made it work. So you work 100%. Out 3 days a week, max 45 minutes. That's it.
Yeah, that's
just it. The whole COVID-19 pandemic, Joe, a lot of people would have done the opposite to say, no, this is not the time. But as you have shown, you don't need a gym either for weight loss. You worked out from home. So the pandemic, obviously, it didn't have an effect on your weight loss.
Well, it's funny because I had one child before, just my one son, no pandemic, never lost the weight. In fact, I got into worse shape. It's all in your head. Honestly, like I have 3 kids. I have 3 kids under 2, and I've got twins, and it's not easy. And, my partner is incredible, and she's working out too now. Like she's finding time to do it too. She's not making
True.
excuses.
So the knock-on effect, look at the knock-on effect it's had.
100%.
Yeah.
You have to listen. No one says it's easy to do at 9:30 because obviously it's harder because we don't sleep at night as much. So it's harder in the mornings, but you find time. And I'd say, even if you don't have weights or there's always things you can do. There's core, there's push-ups, there's sit-ups, you could buy bands, you can buy anything, resistance, anything to do resistance training, you can do it. It's really about breaking that barrier of wanting to do it and like feeling like you have no choice. I think that if you don't put in that effort and you don't like it, it's never going to work, no matter what you do.
It's all mindset. People think, should I do it? It should think like, how can I do it?
People make a lot of excuses. And I think that's what's allowed me to be successful in business is when people tend to give up. It's when I find, or my business partners find another gear and learn to persevere through those difficult times.
That's it. I mean, there's always going to be roadblocks. It's how it's all part of life.
100%.
The Obstacle, my favorite book of all time, The Obstacle is the Way, by Ryan Holiday. Have you ever read it?
No, but
basically,
it sounds familiar.
Life is going to throw at you so many obstacles, but it's going to make you stronger. It's a test for you. The majority of people just give up. But you just keep it's persistence. Never give up.
I agree. And the thing is, I found that like sometimes people need that motivation, which is that guidance. Sometimes people feel lost. I had some experience in training. So for me, form wasn't an issue because obviously you're not there spotting my weights. It was more of like accountability. I'd say having the accountability to you, knowing that you're checking in with me, knowing that I didn't want to disappoint you because you're putting in that time into me as well. You feel accountable, not just to yourself, but to you. And that pushed me as well to make sure I was tracking. And it's funny because like the days I would miss, like if I forgot to put my lunch and my dinner in, you'd message me every day saying, why haven't you put in your lunch? Or you only ate 400 calories today. And I would go and I would fill it in. And this way I had a proper report card for you to do your analysis on me and adjust things with me as time went on as well.
Accountability is everything. So look, you have the diet, you have the training, but everything, what comes together is the glue. It holds everything together is someone in your corner, someone holding your hand, someone guiding you through the whole process step by step, which is a coach.
I felt it was nice to have it. And it's nice to have it with someone that you don't know. Whereas like having that accountability to a family member is not going to be the same. You can always make excuses to them. When it's someone that you don't personally know, you feel there's more accountability. So I found that you were definitely on top of me, making sure that I was trying to get things, hey, I noticed you didn't work out today. Why not? Are you going to work out tomorrow? Or you didn't eat enough today. You need to eat more tomorrow. That constant reminder, someone in the back of your head saying, giving you that little bit of extra push just when you need it. And I needed it too, to be honest. It wasn't easy for me, but I'd say come month 2 was easier and month 3 was much easier for sure.
Yeah. There's 2 reasons why I think people can't do it on their own. I've found out over the last 5 years. Number 1, they don't have the strategies. They don't have a plan in place. Number 2 is they don't have the accountability. That's why people can't do it on their own. They just simply don't have the strategies in place.
Yeah, I would say you're definitely an accountability coach for sure. Making sure people, if they say they're going to do, they
have to implement the plan. They have to actually implement the plan.
But that's what was interesting.
And then implement.
Yeah, but that's what was interesting about you. So when we first spoke, you're like, "Are you going to do this or not?" You're very because if I'm going to invest my time into you, I need to know that you're going to commit to me. So there's like a two-way accountability. Whereas like, if you're going to do this, just do it. If you're not, you basically said like, don't waste my time because I have other people I'd rather help.
Exactly.
And so, I knew that if I'm going to do this, I have to do it 100%. And again, it wasn't unrealistic. It wasn't something that wasn't that was because you said, I need you to work out 3 times a day and eat this much exactly and follow this exact regimen. I'd say, listen, I just don't think I can do it. But what was asked of me was very much within reason. And,